Good morning, my friends. Welcome to my channel this morning. I'm just sitting here this morning and contemplating what I'm going to talk about. So what is relevant? What is relevant to talk about currently? Currently, when you get around a lot of people that are, when you have to work and you have to you have to spend time with people because of work, and people that you have to come in contact with can bring a lot of triggers to you. So you can, in the moment when you are aware of yourself and aware of your behavior, so aware, so, you know, from the perspective of just observing it and watching it. This for me is never ever going, I don't know, I don't live my life without that experience. And so that experience is, and you know, you've been watching my channel, so you know I'm constantly aware, so which sometimes can be really exhausting, from living mindful and being aware of how you choose to behave under certain circumstances. And this brings me to like working with people or being with people or coming into contact with people with all good intentions. All good intentions. Having good intentions is a very good thing, and just being grateful that you are in the moment, that you're present, and that you're aware of how you behave, and you want to make a change if you want to or not. So sometimes these things can, or these situations or people, all kinds of people, are a reflection of yourself. So you know, there's all these kind of opportunities in being aware of the other person and being aware of what is triggered inside of you. Say, brings up some kind of emotion or a sense of competition, or this person's better, or this, or I'm less, or I'm more, or all this kind of stuff, ego stuff that arises in such a flash, and like it's a real flash, and you can be challenged. And all of this is so good, because you know, the more and more that you're aware of it, the more you become so more authentic within yourself, and making changes to benefit your existence. And it's really cool that way. And I'm you know, I'm challenged in so many ways. You know, like there's some people that you really instantly connect with, and you instantly feel this openness and this, you know, this willingness to share, and this willingness to be playful, you know. And especially, you know, there's this sometimes in certain, you know, behind certain walls, in business, or when you're working with people and you have to work with people, and there's this, you know, professionalism that you have to, you know, there's this kind of, you know, unwritten rules that you have to follow, and that you have to apply to be accepted or something. So that you know, I'm saying this because some people, you can, which is so nice, you can find where you're being playful and that you're sharing things, but nothing is that serious, or that you don't have a battle with being right or wrong. And I'm just talking about, I'm not talking about necessarily work. I'm talking about like the person that you're interacting with can bring these polarized feelings of, you know, like fear or love. So I think basically you are challenged with responding in fear or responding in love. Now that sounds really, really deep, but it is there if you're like at all aware of like your reactions to every situation, to everything. So, you know, when you're giving your opinion, and you know, you feel like you're criticized from your opinion, and where's that coming from, and all this kind of stuff. So, but I'm just here to say, like, what I experience is that everything is good, and everything starts on the inside. And it's really, really super challenging to accept the fact that you're responsible for all of your actions and all of your stress that you put on yourself, and that that conditions, and that's people, circumstance, yeah, people's and circumstance, you know, that can create, like, you know, disappointment or gratitude. You know, the polarized things like fear or love, you know, like how do you respond to certain things? And, you know, that thoughts are always arising in you all the time. It's like sometimes we don't feel like we get a break from that, maybe. So if you're especially, but if you're living on automatic pilot, like you won't know what I'm talking about really, because it's like there's the world out there and then there's no connection with the world inside. And while I think that living from the inside, of course, obviously, is the better choice for me. And for me, you know, not for everybody else. So there's no like judgments or labels. My mind judges and labels, and it there can be some triggers for sure, and it can get really confusing. But by allowing those thoughts to pass and not labeling the person that you're communicating with is a really big challenge, because your mind likes to label that, and it sees acceptance or to run away from it, you know, like what's the word, the polar opposite, non-acceptance, like this person's not accepting me, or all of that stuff is your stuff. Never ever the other person. Never, even if they're super rude or super uncomfortable, or they dislike you, or you feel like, you know, like you're not in with them or stuff like that. And we always gravitate, and which is really super nice, to gravitate more or less to the people that, you know, laugh at your jokes, or that are less maintenance, you know. But those people who are really challenging, like the rude ones, or the ones that are like complain, or need to be this way, and that it's their way or the highway, and no one else is around. All of those are so important, because it's like really it's really valuable to be around those kind of people. I wouldn't go out and search for them, because you don't have to search for them, because they're going to be there in your daily experience. You know, someone at the shop, or someone at work, or someone at the grocery store, or someone down the street, or someone you pass or something. You can have moments of friction and all that kind of thing. This whole, like, you know, up and down daily life circumstances, you know, all kinds of things. You know what I'm talking about. I think those, you know, if you're super aware of all of it and you're not on an automatic pilot, then there's an opportunity there. So I'm loving my triggers. I'm loving the rude people. I'm loving the response I have within myself, because it likes, like, you know, also, like, it wants to fight, and the ego wants to be, you know, right in that situation, and it labels all of this. Just like I'm speaking this morning very, very fast, and it's all just rising and falling in the experience. Here's my hands. Here's my hands. I have hand choreography. You know, my friends, it all just rises and falls, and nothing is that serious, or nothing is, it's an opportunity though. So, but I think that if you just allow and let go, and allow and let go, and be, you know, searching for that best feeling moment within yourself, so rising above it all, and, you know, it's really challenging, because you want to be right in situations, because the ego wants to be right or wrong. But by allowing, it's kind of the triggers. It's kind of interesting, because, you know, life just continues, and then it's past, and then it's over. So how you dealt with that is the most important thing, it seems, in that moment. Or dealt with it, or just actually allowing. So live and let live. And it's really, really challenging. So there's a lot of people out there that trigger you, and then there's a lot of people out there that love you and are feeling in the loving presence of them, and they just make you feel that you're allowed to be yourself. But those other ones that don't, you know, and like, you know, judge your behavior, or like you have to behave a certain way, is also conditions that you place on other people. So it's all the play of life, and it's all so like interesting, and I love it actually. Even though it's uncomfortable, it's like if you're aware, you choose how you behave, and for your own benefit, and that benefits the other person. And so if you have rude people in your life, you don't have to engage in that at all. I think that's a weapon for yourself. A weapon, is that the word? Maybe that's over dramatized, but it is for yourself to actually just be with it and allow it. Now they shouldn't, you know, well, I was gonna say shouldn't, but I don't like that word shouldn't in my vocabulary. It could be this way, I would like to say. It could be, I could respond this way. Oh man. Oh man. So I'm here just saying that loving the triggers and accepting the triggers and being with that and feeling that it passes really fast, and I don't know, I just get stronger from it, and I choose how. Now the ego doesn't like that, because it wants to fight, and it wants to, like, you know, get in there, and you know, it doesn't want to have that feeling, and it wants you to respond, and it feels a payoff when you respond. But also there's a payoff. You know, everything that we do is a payoff. Like, it's a payoff somewhere within inside us that we feel that we're right, or there's a payoff or something like that. So I guess there is, you know, there's a payoff in everything, but nothing is that serious at the same time, and no one's better than another person, and triggers are gonna happen, and you're gonna feel good, and you're not gonna feel good. So, you know, staying there and being responsive the best way you can, and if you're overwhelmed or hijacked by those feelings, also letting those go and realizing that you did what you did, and it teaches you what you don't want, and it teaches you what you do want, whatever that is for you, and how you like to respond. It's all just for a better a more kind world, and your world, a more kind way to approach life for yourself, and a kind way to be with others. Being kind with the people who cause triggers in you, or just being silent and not having to respond to that, and stepping back and making a more conscious choice on how you'd like to behave. But everybody deserves your best. You deserve your best in that moment, and what that best is your own choice, and nothing is right or wrong, because like I spoke about last week, we need the dark as well as the light, which is the fear and the love, all of those things. Everything is good. So everything good, and everything passes, and I don't know. Being good with all of it is the best way to, for me, is best, and I'm here sharing. I got one more subscriber, so welcome to my channel, welcome to with us, and thank you for being here with me, and I love you unconditionally, and I wish you a beautiful week. It's Tuesday, I didn't do a video yesterday, but it's all good. So now this is I don't have the morning talks, but I'm doing this morning. In half an hour I'm leaving for Rotterdam, and I just came from Italy, and in judging a competition, and that's a whole nother topic. But around certain people, my triggers came, and they were just there, and I watched them and observed them, and I made some different changes. And ego. So I felt good about that, and I felt good about being with myself and allowing all of it, and not projecting into the future, or just the monkey mind jumps up and down and not attaching to any of it. It's hard, it's challenging, but it's necessary. have a great day and enjoy yourselves, and lighten it up and have fun as much as you can, because that's why we're here, I think. Okay, I love you so much, and much love, and bye. Have a great day. Ciao, ciao.